Welcome back. Sorry, we've had a few technical issues there, the joys of live TV. But we're here back with Jess Sharkey, and we saw the community grocery there, Jess, and it's some incredible work that they do. And could you tell us a bit about how we can find out more if people need to access support when it comes to food poverty?
Yeah, so the community grocery website, which is run by the Message Trust, has a huge list of all the groceries available across the UK. So in Middlesbrough, there's some in Blackpool, there's loads more in Greater Manchester. So have a look at the site, see what's local to you. And if you are local to Manchester, just pop into that Salford site. The staff are really friendly. They'll get you signed up, they'll get you subscription, and they'll sort you out. Nationally, the Trussell Trust is a great source of information. You need help with food costs or any of the basic necessities.
And for people that might not know, how is a community grocery different from a food bank?
Yes, so Teresa John told me that food banks are great, but community groceries are different because they have these little letters. And these can be things that the staff have picked in shops, like birthday cakes or dog toys or little stocking fillers for Christmas. And they put these in the community grocery and sell them as little extras at discounted supermarket prices. So every week you can get a little treat for your kid or a little treat for yourself. And that's what's different about food banks is you kind of get what you're given. Teresa called it shopping with dignity, and it's just a completely different premise to food banks. And they don't just offer food, they even offer classes in cooking, and they give debt advice and money advice, and it's just those little extras, and that little extra help can go all the way.
Thank you, Jess, as always, for joining us. Now, from cutting food costs to getting around on a shoestring, public transport across Greater Manchester is in the news constantly, and with added train strikes and ongoing political debate, we sent Nicole Bowler out onto the streets of the city aboard a Burnham bike to see just how easy it is to get from A to B.
Manchester undoubtedly has amazing transport links in and around the city centre. Be it the Metrolink or buses, you're guaranteed to be covered for a journey. But how good are the cycling routes? I hired a Burnham bike for the day to test just this. After all, Manchester is home to the National Cycling Centre, which is Britain's first indoor Olympic cycling track. It opened in 1944. Most of my journey cycling through Manchester was pretty plain sailing. The cycle lanes really add to the pleasure of riding as it takes away the initial worry of danger around cars. I did, however, find myself in some pretty sticky situations when some drivers forgot to use their indicators. In 2020 alone, there were 901 accidents in the city centre area of Manchester involving bicycles. Data shows that these type of accidents are usually caused by car drivers. Luckily, the only problems I faced were pedestrians crossing the road when it was a green light and they shouldn't have been crossing. Overall, Manchester was a great place to cycle.
Nicole, great to have you back in one piece there. And it looked like that the pedestrians were the issues. How did you find it?
Yeah, funnily enough, people crossing the roads were my biggest issue. I'd start riding and when the light turned green, they'd just go without a care in the world. Unfortunately, I think pedestrians don't have as much respect for cyclists than they do cars, which is a shame really, because I really enjoy myself getting around. Cycle lanes in Manchester are actually one of my favourite things about Manchester. It really adds to the feel of being safe when you're getting about, something which can be very worrying for cyclists travelling around, especially myself. I can be quite worried about cars and stuff because I'm not the most confident rider, but having them cycle lanes, they really make a difference.
Yeah, and what about price? You know, people, whether you get the bus or you get the tram, is it a really cheaper alternative to cycle?
Yeah, so the price of getting around, for me anyway, seemed a lot more cheaper than other options that they have in Greater Manchester. The trains, I'd say they're reasonable price, but the buses, the £2 a journey, which they have just been lowered to capped at £2 single fare, but for me that's still quite expensive. So when I did my usual route from the city centre to my house, it actually only costed me £1.10. If I get a jogger on and try my hardest, I can do it in £1. So for options for price wise, I think it's pretty decent. if people are looking, obviously with the cost of living crisis at the moment, if people are looking for a cheaper option, say cycling is pretty much your best option that you've got at the minute.
Yeah, and obviously with Manchester City Centre being crazy busy with Christmas shoppers at this time of year, do you think it's a viable option maybe for them? Or
So I'd say Christmas shopping, maybe not, because you've only got one little basket. You're not going to fit all your shopping on there, let's be real. But talk about winter and Christmas shopping, I just want to talk about the weather when you're cycling, because I love getting around on a burning bike, but nowadays when it's cold and it's slippy, it's icy, you really do feel that cold stretch coming. You feel it on your ears, feel it on your hands if you're not wearing any gloves. It can really get quite cold when you're cycling, and that's one of the biggest things. So I'm going to say, if you do want to hire a burning bike, I'd say wrap up, get your gloves on, get your earmuffs on, and try not to slip on the leaves and the ice.
yeah, and obviously get your helmet on as well. The amount of people
Of
that I
course,
see
yeah.
out and about in town without helmets on is crazy. So safety first, guys. But sticking with Christmas shopping, or in particular Manchester-based fashion, you've also been catching up with the creators of independent fashion brand D-Boy, haven't you?
That's right, Will. Yeah, these two young entrepreneurs are really making their mark on the Manchester fashion industry. They've come in, they've introduced this new fashion brand, and it's quite brilliant. And they're dedicated to avoiding the limelight themselves and putting the brand at the forefront of the customer's needs. And you'll see in the video that I've got prepared.
D-Boy is a Manchester brand with its roots in South Manchester. The main thing with D-Boy is it's really about storytelling, giving stories from where we come from in the cities, you know what I mean, giving those stories and then bringing them to the mainstream. I think they've been missing in fashion.
The Manchester brand launched officially last year and has since brought in customers from all over the country. The main aim of the brand is to spread the message of working with what you have and making it happen, something which was inspired by the creators' relatives in Africa.
Just blurring the lines between streetwear and luxury wear. I think the idea for it really to put things really together. I think 2020 really I kind of had an idea for it, and in 2021 we kind of officially launched and I really had that put the ideas together into one concrete thing. So yeah, so 2021, I think that's where the idea really channeled everything in and the influences in, yeah.
The creators of D-Boy are aiming to make the merge between streetwear and luxury wear later on this month with their new clothing line release.
D-Boy to me, it represents mainly loyalty and like a family and brotherhood, because that's what we started with. And if you see the content that we do post, it's very much on how we can shine light on the problems that we face. I always thought that I had an eye for fashion, and people have just, from when I started, people just took a big interest into what I have to offer. The shoot that we did back home in my home country. So with that, I always see people giving back and doing things, and I just thought, that is inspiring. How could I do that with my own business? That thing about loyalty, family, that's what inspires me the most, I'd say.
Now, it was really interesting to see Nicole, and it's really unusual, you were saying before, how the designer conceals their identity, and we're used so much to seeing fashion designers in the limelight, on the catwalk, on the red carpet. Do you think that the balaclava will ever come off?
To be honest with you, Will, it's part of a brand statement, I think, and I think many of us would get behind me in saying that that type of look can be appreciated in fashion. And to be fair, not saying too much about their new drop coming up, but they have got similar clothing articles of clothing that are very similar to balaclavas coming into winter. So I feel like it's just it's not going to go away. I think it's their kind of statement on their brand fashion, putting themselves out of the spotlight and making a brand just be itself and speak for itself. And I think it's got a really fresh, positive outlook for the creators and customers themselves, it becomes kind of like an immersive experience, because when you shop with the brand, you know it's going to be all about you. It's not about them, it's about how you feel wearing it, it's not about anything else. And as the slogan they say, get it how you live, that's just really means you need to wear this brand and wear it for how you feel. It's not about other people, it's about you. It's about you wearing that brand, and that's really the message they want to get across. So I don't think the balaclava's coming off very soon. It's more of a fashion statement, I would say.
Yeah, and we saw some brilliant behind the scenes footage there from their latest shoot for the latest drop, and I know you can't reveal too much, but how can people get their hands on the latest collection when it does come out? Do they have a website?
Yeah, so they've got a website. You can go to their website. It's dboystore.com, and they've also got their Instagram where they put all their fashion merch on their Instagram. They do reels. It's a really fun place to go and have a look if you want to check it out. That's again D-Boy. And I just want to add how impressed I was with the professionalism they have at such a young age, merging the luxury wear and streetwear. It really resonates with the everyday person, getting an excellent quality garment for a price that people can afford. It's £45 roughly for a t-shirt, and in my opinion, that's a reasonable price. I felt it of the garments, and you'd see that in Selfridges, you'd see that in a high brand fashion store, and for £5, that's really fun, a nice Christmas gift for someone. So yeah, get your Christmas shopping in with D-Boy.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to see that. Maybe I'll be picking up one or two pieces myself. Now with there's only 2 more Christmas shopping weekends until the big day. Time is running out to get yourselves down to the markets, but don't worry if you haven't been yet, because they are open until the 22nd of December and have recently been voted one of the most affordable in the UK. Here's a sneak peek at what's on offer.
Welcome to Mancunian Matters 60-second Christmas market roundup.
Merry Christmas!